आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force become powerful, efficient. All is verily the ever perfect, ever blissful, one without second, conscious existence itself, the Brahman. May I never deny Brahman. May the Brahman never reject me either. May all the virtues necessary to experience Brahman be with me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel our true nature as Brahman, the all-pervading existence, by doing a simple exercise, a simple thought experiment. Just as we take our heavy clothing off when we get from a cold weather to a warm home, we take off the heavy jackets and put them on our hanger. So let us do this simple exercise of unbuttoning our body, which is like clothing, and put it on a hanger. We are not body, so it is possible. Body is described by scriptures as a clothing. So we can take it off. And when necessary, we can again put it on. Now freed from the body, I see I have no birth, no death. I am the all-pervading reality. The words like gender or sex do not mean anything to me. The ideas of height, weight, blood pressure, and such things do not mean anything. They pertain only to the body. I am the immortal spirit. I am Brahman, all pervading, one without second. Om, peace, peace, peace. So let us begin today's class. Actually, the 171st class uh, of this series. Although it says here 170 because one was given by Adi Maharaj, not included in the PowerPoint presentations. So it is a sequel to the story of Prahlada. Today will be the last class on this chapter and the story of Prahlada. Although the story of Prahlada was being narrated by the sage Narada to Yudhishthira. And that discussion between Yudhishthira and Narada will still continue on a different topic, and which we will start uh, on not next Friday. Next Friday again it will be our Adi Maharaj who will be giving the talk. So on Bhagavatam, but I don't know what he is going to speak about. So, huh? Oh, okay, it may not be Bhagavad. Okay. Uh, so, whatever uh, it is. So, let us begin with our regular chant. So, recite as loudly as you can. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो Yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi. That from whom creation, sustenance, and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists, just as the combination of materials like fire, water, and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing else. On that truth supreme we meditate. This reference is to the mirage, the three things combined there. Like there is the soil or sand, there is the uh, sun or the light shining, and there is also the idea of water in our mind. All three things combine to give an experience of mirage. Any one of these absent, then you will not see mirage. So it is a combination. So, and while you see the combination as water, there is no water. And while you see this sand as water, has sand undergone any change, Charlie? No, the sand remains as sand and appears as water. So this whole existence appears in various different forms, but it actually is God. Thank you for asserting. Yeah, do you get it? Na? Yeah, it is God. It is all still divine. No change has happened there at all. So this is to be remembered, that the elemental nature of any of these this doesn't change in as you see the mirage. Tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo. So all these three things, Tej means light, Vari water, and Mrud means the earth. All three combine, as it were, to give the illusion of uh, water there. Although in creating such an illusion, none of those things have ever changed in the least. So that is the supreme truth which appears as all these uh, different forms, and we see them obeying various laws. Those laws also are the part of this illusion, and therefore they also undergo changes. It is not that these laws are always true. They go on, as therefore it is said the science evolves. So, what was considered to be true one day, after some time it is not considered to be true anymore. So, this is how everything changes here, and everything changing gives us this important understanding if we penetrate that what our understanding today is is illusory, not right, and therefore needs to be transcended. Mm. This is the way to get to truth supreme, and in this great treatise, this knowledge is brought to us through the variety of, enchanting stories. So, we just finished discussion on Prahlada's story, that it is the question was how the demons who think of God as enemy, how could they get liberation? So, uh, how a devotee gets liberation, a regular devotee, usual devotee, by concentrating the mind on God and God alone. Mm. Does not think of anything else, no other thought at all, because all other things are seen as not real. God alone is important, and so all attention is on God. And now, here, in case of demons, also the same thing, that they are concentrating on God alone, but as their enemy. Doesn't matter whether you consider God as enemy, or God as friend, matters not. The God is the nature of everything. It is so. Uh, it is they single-mindedly, this demon Hiranyakashipu was concentrating on God as enemy, has to be killed, has to be eliminated, and had therefore been, the mind was filled with that. Uh, they became unified with God. They become, mind is filled with God. That fellow needs to be killed. Mm. What happens there? That only the reality, the truth remains. That's all. So, like Sri Ramakrishna used to say, that whether one eats a chocolate bar, he didn't use chocolate bar word, that once say a sweet, uh, whether you eat it sideways or vertically, it tastes the same. So it is like that. They whether you that devote yourself to God, thinking of God in any form. There are regular these 5 attitudes told, that uh, it is Vatsalya, means the love of a mother for the child. That is one attitude. Dasya is another attitude, like I am servant, God is my master. Sri Ramakrishna said that attitude is the best for almost all of us, because it does not let the ego rise. God is the master, I am God's servant. So that is considered the best attitude. So for most of us. So then there is the Sakhya, God as my friend. Mm. Then there is the Shanta, means not a particular uh, connection with God, but God is in everything, peaceful, like the Sri Ramakrishna described, that the sages meditating in forest, they had this attitude of Shanta Bhava. And then there is the Madhur Bhava, the attraction or love uh, of uh, a woman towards a paramour. So that love, because of its intensity, it is called Madhur Bhava. So all these are various types. Uh, and the sixth one is not included. That is this: God, connect to God as my enemy. Why think of this fellow or that fellow as enemy? If you want to have enemy, God is my enemy. So the mind by that will go to God. Whomsoever you say, you think as enemy, the mind keeps on going to that. Unconsciously, the meditation happens on that. If Ivana is thinking that fellow is terrible, my enemy, so she sits for meditation and then the thought goes to that fellow. Therefore, one should not think of anybody as enemy, because then the thoughts will go to that person. Mm. So, but if God is the enemy, then that's okay, because the thought will go to God. Only thing is, it is very difficult attitude to assume, since in our mind the God is repository of all blessed qualities, God is good. So how can you have enmity with God? So we will not be able to sustain that attitude with God, God as enemy. So this is the point, is that you get merged in God by having this attitude of animosity. Then this Narada concludes this narrative that this is I have finished narrating to you the sacred story of the wonderful Lord, the lover of holy ones, in his incarnation for the destruction of these primeval demons. uh, in this story of Prahlada has been told all the relevant matters connected with the salvation of man as conceived by the path of devotion of the Bhagavatas. All those things, the materials necessary for emancipation, liberation, they are all in this great tale of Prahlada. What are these? That it is the bhakti. You see the tremendous upsurge of devotion and the jnana. We saw in Prahlada's story that what tremendous knowledge he had about God. Knowledge is that, not the knowledge of uh, counting many things. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that knowledge. Two friends went to a mango grove, and there were a lot of nice mangoes, but one friend had a calculating mind. So started calculating how many leaves would be. See, this grove has 77 trees. So make a count, 77. Uh, each tree has so many branches, each branch has so many leaves. So, how many leaves totally will be there in this mango grove? That is the knowledge of the world, many things. In Bhagavad Gita, this is called the Rajasika Jnana, the knowledge where our desires, they pull us in various directions, and thus we know many things, but we don't know one thing. We know many things, but not the one thing. The other friend, he knew the one thing that, well, there are mangoes there. So he found out who the owner is, made friends with that owner, and started eating the mangoes. That is the one thing necessary in life. Mm. That otherwise we know the whole world. How many stars are there, how many planets each star has, and then count how many planets will be in the world, and then keep on which planet will have Earth like life, which planet may not have, and if they have the human like life, would they be coming to earth to attack us? Very common sci-fi this theme, attacks by the aliens. So it is that is the knowledge of the multiplicity keeps on changing. Because whether universe is contracting or expanding, two theories that, well, sometimes it is expanding, sometimes it is contracting. There is that childhood story. I liked it a lot then. That once that Birbal was asked, so many other courtiers were also presented with this one question: how many crores are there in this city of Agra? How many crores? What happened was, as that king was taking a stroll in the garden, a crow put the dropping on him, and so was terribly upset with crows. All these crows should be eliminated. How many crows are there? Now who goes to count? No, everybody know. Birbal gave a sum. They are 185,751. Oh wow! How did you find? Yeah, if you have doubt, go and count. And if you count, and if you find that if number is less by a few, some might have died in the while you were counting, or some might have migrated out of Agra. If you find that they are more, some might have come from outside Agra here, or got born during this time. So it is this is the worldly knowledge described in this tale, always shifting and changing, and that nothing strange about it, because that is how this world is, changing world, and therefore the laws, will they be unchanging? If the world is changing, the laws also will be changing. But this is the one that Prahlada knew that. And so his knowledge was the right. He had the bhakti, tremendous love for God, and the clear understanding, full knowledge of what that divine is. And then also the other disciplines, the karma and yoga, all this, and the renunciation that comes from it. If the understanding is real, then it will get followed by renunciation. Otherwise, the knowledge is not real knowledge. Sri Ramakrishna used to give an example, that if somebody is just about to eat, sat for meals, and is about to put a morsel on the mouth, and somebody says, "Oh, don't eat it! There is poison in it." And if that person knows the meaning of poison, will that person continue to eat? Will immediately push aside the plate and run away. That is renunciation. when you see this world, the attraction for all the names and forms that is going to bind us. That is the cause of all the torture and suffering that we are going through. Will we go for the enjoyment of that? What, Ivana? No, you will push it. No, I don't want that. I want freedom. I want bliss and not getting entangled and rotting in that mire anymore. The teachings of bhakti are very powerful teachings, and these are the methods by which we can actually experience this. One has to apply these methods, and gradually one attains success. I remember in my early childhood days when I was, decided I will learn riding a bicycle because some of my other friends they were riding, and then my dad decided to train me. So and I started. Uh, was falling again and again and getting bruised badly. And so I thought it is impossible for me. How? No, dad was telling, no, no, you have to keep the balance proper. And I, but how? How to keep the balance? It was a mystery. He said, no, no, you do, and then you will get it automatically. And yes, after a few falls here and there, and getting badly bruised on those streets, and then one day I found, why, yeah, it is, I am able to ride the bicycle. What a joy it was, yeah. So, and then it was a joy, so I would take the bicycle. There is no need to go anywhere, but it was a joy. Hey, take the bicycle. So my dad started scolding. Earlier he was telling me, scolding me for not practicing. Now I was taking bicycle, so it was not available for him to go to some works. So that is how it happens, that you start seeing that it is so nice, so possible, and God realization is possible. Sri Ramakrishna again and again repeated this with so much of compassion in heart, that I tell you truly that God realization is possible. God can actually be seen if you want to see that. So it is the glories of the one who is the creator, governor, destroyer. His divine actions are lucidly elaborated for the mind to get absorbed in him. This is how this story is. When you read this great, very beautifully written novels, like say Harry Potter or Lord of Rings, of Tale of Two Cities, then what happens? You get gradually identified with that main characters there, and you start feeling, start thinking, oh, that what will be happening to that person, how the next chapter, what is going to be there. Your mind gets filled with that. You start walking with all of those characters. You start imagining, no, this should happen now. This should, in fact, you feel sorry if a character that you fall in love with is getting bad treatment or is suffering. You feel sorry because you are identified with that. So that is how the glories of God are told, so that you will feel love, identification with it. The story of the man lion form of God takes a devotee beyond all fear. And this is the important part of it. So all fear will be gone when you see this tremendously fearful form. But well, nothing, it is for devotees there is no fear. He is very loving to Prahlada as a child. So this is the main purpose of telling this story. So uh, if he hears the account of the Lord's sportive deeds as man lion, his destruction of Hiranyakashipu and his Asura forces, and also the holy story of Prahlada. Uh, and thus, it is this story is concluded here, and then there is another story that comes here because the question is asked by this Yudhishthira, Raja Yudhishthira, this because he alludes here that the many, O king, it was the worship of Lord Vishnu who restored the re-established reputation of Lord Rudra, which was gravely affected by the nefarious practices of Maya, the asura of great magical powers. This Maya is a very good depiction of our mind. Our mind has lots of magical powers, weaves so many things around, just give the mind a slight hint, and then it starts weaving the webs all around. So, where from? Well, that is the power that the mind has. This is a demon, Maya. So, this Maya, not to be confused with Maya. Maya, the power of God, is different from here, Maya. And now in English spellings it becomes a bit confusing. It is here this word is Maya, uh, uh, that not Maya. Maya is the power that uh, makes one appear as many, and therefore by entangles us. So that is Maya. This Maya is a particular demon who had tremendous magical power. The purpose of telling this story of Maya is because this Maya built palaces for Yudhishthira, magically. Wonderful palace, the palace that he built for Yudhishthira and other Pandavas. He made very funny things there, that you will see water but there won't be water, and you will see just everything is dry but there would be water. So that was one of the reasons, as it is said, that the war happened because they were the cousins, the Kauravas were invited to see this new palace, like people are invited for housewarming, isn't it? Uh, so, so they sent invitation to the cousins, come and see our new house in Indraprastha. Uh, the kingdom was divided between the two these clans, and so the Pandavas they got just a wooded forest part of it, no, not the city of Hastinapura, but then they burned the forest and established the city of Indraprastha there. How? Because in that forest, as it was getting burned, this demon was in that forest and he got was getting burned. So he prayed that, oh, please let me, please spare me. I will do some nice things for you. Please spare my life. And so he was spared, and he built this great city of Indraprastha according to some authorities, and I am not an authority in that field. It is that the present city of Delhi was the Indraprastha. So in Delhi there is a part called Indraprastha colony, and so it is, where was it? Some say where there is that these days the Purana Killa, that used to be the Indraprastha. But that is the job for the archaeologists and historians. Anyway, so this was all built by Maya. And then when they were invited for this housewarming, the Kauravas, they thought that there is water, and they pulled their cloth that they were wearing a little up so that it won't get wet. But there wasn't any water. So that Draupadi was standing there up, and she laughed at their plight. And nobody likes to be laughed at like that. So then they went to see the other room. There was no sign of water seen, but there was water, and they fell in the water. And again that lady laughed, you see. So that hit them very hard, and they decided that they should wreak revenge on these people. So anyway, so that is this Maya. So Maya was one of the demons, and what happened was that uh, they uh, when the Asuras were once defeated by the Devas, whose power had been enhanced by the this god Vishnu. Uh, they took shelter with Maya, the master of all magical arts. The master craftsman that he was, Maya built for them three large flying fortresses of gold, silver, and iron, which could move about invisibly and had unique kinds of equipment uh, uh, in inconceivable by anyone. That is this Tripura, three fortresses. They are actually representations of the gross body, subtle body, and the causal body. Mm. They are like these three fortresses. It is the body of this external body, gold, or it can be put in the reverse order also. The causal body is that of gold, mm, less changeable. Then the subtle body is of silver, and the gross body is the iron. So it is with these three bodies now, and these three bodies were made invisible, three fortresses. and you can move from one fortress to other fortress, and thus can attack all these devas, the angels. So this process that defied them. So and they went attacking everything, destroying everything, moving in these three invisible palaces. See, we are many times in gross body, and then the demon, if attacked in the gross body, moves in the subtle body, then moves in the causal body, then again keeps on moving. So, and invisibly. So you do not see them, their movements. So it is. So they approach Shiva that, oh, please help us. And Shiva said, don't worry, I know where they hide. I will manage that. So it is said here that he shot a very mighty, Shiva's bow is very mighty bow, and he had this uh, good magical arrows. So he shot one arrow, which when hit, it became many, many arrows, and killed all the demons in all these three castles. All the demons were thus uh, dead. But this Maya had another trick up his sleeve. He had a pond, a nice pond filled with ambrosia, amrita, nectar. That was, and so he immersed all of them in that pond, in the pond of ambrosia, and that made them alive again. It is. So that is that pond they were put, and thus they were having another life there, as it were. Now Shiva became despondent, seeing that his power didn't work. So now what to do? So uh, he and other godheads, that they approach Vishnu, and Vishnu said, "Okay, I will take care of it." So Vishnu, what did he do? He took the form of a cow and a calf, and then sucked all the ambrosia of that pond. Mm. Now, those having deprived of that ambrosia, those demons, they got then killed again. So, this is a very nice idea that we should not feed the demons in us this ambrosia, that so that they remain in check, get killed. The ambrosia that they are fed with is that they are our dear ones. We call those as the God, all pervading, so that is in those demons as well, and thus they are kept as it were alive. So that Vishnu took the form of a cow associated with a calf, and thus drank all that ambrosia from that pond, and thus the demons got killed. So here, this 10th chapter comes to an end. And as I mentioned in the next class, that will be in next month. Mm, in the next month, we will start discussing the 11th chapter, which discusses very important ideas. In discussing the Prahlada story, last time we discussed it that Prahlada was told to rule the kingdom for 1,000 years. You will be the head and you will have to rule this kingdom, keeping me in your heart. Mm. So that is to show the ideal to the people, how this uh, liberation can be had here and now. Not that you have to die. You have to be alive to God and dead to everything else. So, and continue doing your work. You may say this question gets brought, if we keep the mind on God and work, then how the work will not be done well. uh, it is suppose like Ashutosh says, I have to do lot of study for my PhD, and while studying, if I keep my mind on God, and the study will not get done, it will be all disturbed. What will, so it is, how can I study? I have to study keeping my mind on that subject matter, not on God. If I keep mind on God, that will all get disturbed. One gentleman said, oh, for doing some works one may, like when one is, say, brooming the space, so you can keep on repeating the name of God and keep on brooming, possible. But I am doing very complicated accounts. That is my job. I am an accountant, and it is very complicated. If I do not apply my mind to those accounts, that will not work. So it will, they all mistakes. Even though I put my mind to it, what happens, Charlie? Eh? Charlie is sleeping now. Huh? Yeah, no. Mistakes happen. You don't, yeah, even after applying the mind. Now, if I don't apply mind, mind is in God and I am doing accounts. The mistakes will just galore. No. No. Absolutely no. It is. This was a great lesson to learn, for me. That uh, one Swami that happened to be, the one whom I came in contact first. He had the job of doing accounts, uh, and wow, he used to do it so meticulously. And in very short time, a complicated account. And those days, everything had to be written by hands. The book was to be seen, no scratchings, no overwritings, very clean, and would be just balancing in just first stroke, one stroke, everything would come right. And why? Well, the mind is on the truth, on God, very composed. So one can actually do everything. I assure you, our efficiency will increase, not reduced. If we do all the works, and that is the lesson that Prahlada's this working as the king. It is not a figurative king, but actually functional king looking after the welfare of millions of subjects, and caring for all their needs, keeping them safe, all those things. See how one must work constantly, and yet the mind is on God. And therefore they are never bound by the work. Lord Krishna assures in Bhagavad Gita that the work cannot bind me. Although I am working every moment, not even one moment goes when I am not working. Or can everybody has to work? Now that working is to be done with the attitude that God is in everything. That is the reality. So it is not that it is you can meditate on God only in a confined room where nobody is watching you, nobody is disturbing you. That is one kind. But the meditation, how successfully you meditate, is determined by how that meditation gets displayed on your day-to-day active life. That is how. That is actually the topic for coming Sunday's talk. But this is important to note that how do you judge the quality of a tree? By looking at its fruits. If the fruits are great, well, the tree is good. If the fruits are all not really the proper ones, then that tree is no good. So, similarly, if the meditation, somebody may sit for 2 hours in meditation in a room, and then comes out and starts quarreling and abusing other people. Is it meditation? Think about it. The meditation was not done then properly. What you are doing while sitting, that must come into action. Of course, for that you sit and meditate, that is very good. That must be done. But then that should be brought in our day to day living. Your life will change. Your dealing with people will change. Your attitude of working will change. So that is what is shown in Prahlada's this becoming a king and ruling people. In the next chapter, therefore, the question is what duties, what kind of work there are the Hindus have this social these classifications so that the work becomes, for everybody there will be a work and that will make that person progress. Like Ashutosh doing PhD, so I will not be able to do that. And if the rule is everybody must do PhD, I will be just discarded and not possible for me. So therefore, everybody has to have a way of earning livelihood and progressing, taking up that line of work. It is no, everybody should become a doctor. Then what will happen? Imagine, no, there have to be some are to be doctors and some have to be patients, so that doctors and patients will have uh, a mutually satisfactory connection. So, this is that is how the Varnas are there, and then ashramas are there. That we will start discussion on that. There are the divisions in society according to the capabilities and temperament. There will be different kind of temperaments and different type of abilities and aptitudes. And then there will be the age. A childhood is there, a youth is there, a matured age is there and an old age is there. According to that also, one's uh, works get determined, lifestyle gets determined. So that is called Varna Ashrama. So we shall discuss that in the next class and the first class in next month. Next class will be given by our Adi Maharaj next Friday. And one important announcement about, this Sunday there will be a music concert by, it's a vocal concert by a very senior musician. Uh, his name is Amit Mukherjee. So Amit Mukherjee will be giving this music concert. There will be a tabla player. His name is that Yogesh Karare, and there will be harmonium player Hirak Modi. So you are all requested to join the music concert too after this Sunday lecture. निगमकल्पतरुर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्मुहुः रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any questions? Our Tilakji has a question.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Swamiji, in the opening prayer, there was a sentence that said, God, who is the instrumental and material cause of
Yeah.
this world. What is the difference
The
in those two
difference
words?
is, material and instrumental cause. Like if you have, say, a pot made, then there is a potter who makes it and the material from which it gets made. It is like if the pot is that of clay, then you have the clay, and then there is the potter who makes it. So the clay is the material cause, and then the potter is called actually not instrumental cause. Sometimes these two get included in one, instrumental as well as the uh, that efficient cause. Yeah. So the uh, potter is that uh, thing. Sometimes they break it into three. The wheel of the potter, that is considered the instrumental cause. Yeah. So that is it. Yeah. Any other question? Abhijit has a question.
So, what was the point of this story? Like, it's a story where the demons are hiding in the nectar and the nectar is taken away by Vishnu.
That is a good question. I also do not really know what exactly would be the spiritual significance of it. But you can ponder and let me know. Huh? Sorry about that, yeah. But it's a nice story. I have told the three castles, they have the significance. But that God then drinking all the ambrosia, taking the form of cow, what does it exactly signify? Is One can have interpretations, but and I thought about it before the class, but could not come to a very satisfactory answer. Mm. So thank you for asking this question. So one can ponder over it and let me know. If you find something, please tell me. Hmm? Right. Any question? Any question upstairs?
Yes, a question from Beverly Collins.
Hello, Beverly.
Please clarify about the demons. Did you say they are our dear ones?
Our Devas.
Mm.
Demons.
Yes.
Well, are they our dear ones? Are the demons our dear ones? They appear to be very dear. They all the so-called bad tendencies, which are demons, and then they appear. What happened? The sound is not coming. Uh, okay, thank you. So they appear to be very dear, and therefore we don't give them up, like anger, lust. In fact, we find reasons for their support, for supporting them. No, no, anger, yeah, it is. See how people behave. Should one not feel angry? Okay, the people may be behaving in their own way, but is you are getting angry going to remove all that? Or you are just making yourself one of those bad people behaving badly? So these are all the demons that we love and keep with us, feeding all this kind of nectar to them. Ah, so yes, they become our dear, like our attachments. We give them the name compassion. I am attached to say to my dog. Now, having love for anything is very good, but getting attached to it, calling it mine, thinking of it as mine, then that becomes a bondage. It is a demon. It is, and then immediately my dog and somebody else's dog. My dog is always very nice. It is so well behaved. So many say my dog meditates with me, and so forth. So it is, yeah. So it is not other like other those my neighbor's dogs. How terrible it is. So it is. Mm, I and mine, they are demons. So, but we get attached to them, so and are not ready to give up the attachment. Call it love. It is not love. It is attachment. So we cherish and pander to these demons like as if they are my friends. Mm. Therefore, Lord Krishna tells in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Vidhi enam iha vairinam, that know them to be your enemies. And Shankara comments there, why should it be told? Because they are not usually considered as enemies, they are considered as dear friends. It is only when they start kicking you around, then for that time you think that they are enemies. And that time is over, they again are such good friends. You go to them for so called enjoyment. Yeah. Any other question? Okay, then let's conclude with the our regular closing song. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल। कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल। मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।